was told we don't write about Jesus in school.
They cut my mic at a graduation speech just because I thanked God for his guidance.
They said I couldn't read the Bible at school during my free time.
My teacher said that I couldn't use a Bible verse in my class assignment.
Sadly, these and similar situations are what our students in the United States face regarding religious expression in public schools. Specifically what they can say, do, or share regarding their faith, church, or religious practices. Hi, my name is John, and the purpose of this video from Catholics for Freedom of Religion is to inform you that as students, the freedom of religion protects your right to live your faith in appropriate school situations every day. The faith and religious practices that you learn are not confined to home or church, but are protected even in public schools. For you to be silenced or disciplined for expressing your faith appropriately should never happen. The guidelines from the U.S. Department of Education affirm the rights of public school students to religious expression. The facts in this lesson are taken from those guidelines.
To better understand the protection of religious expression for students in public schools, we will learn about the First Amendment of the Bill of Rights of our Constitution. The Pilgrims came to America to escape persecution for practicing their own faith instead of the official state religion. They and other early colonists believed the best way to protect their own religious freedom was to ban other religions from their colonies. Only those religions which were chartered or permitted could be practiced in each colony. Here, on our own soil, some ministers were beaten and imprisoned for preaching their faith and worshiping God according to their conscience. James Madison and Thomas Jefferson, two of our country's founding fathers, saw the lack of religious freedom in the colonies and in other countries. They spoke out against any state-controlled church, and so they were called the champions of religion. The religious persecution in our early colonies led Thomas Jefferson to write the Virginia Statute for Religious Freedom. It is a statement about freedom of conscience and about churches being free from government control. It passed the Virginia State Legislature on January 16, 1786, and became the model for our First Amendment. Each year on January 16th, the anniversary of Jefferson's Virginia Statute of Religious Freedom, the President of the United States designates that day as Religious Freedom Day. The President calls on all Americans to celebrate their religious freedom on January 16th, with ceremonies and activities in homes, schools, and places of worship. After the leaders of the new United States wrote the Constitution, 9 states needed to accept the document in order for it to be ratified. Some states did not want to ratify unless they could list some specific rights to protect freedom of religion and individual liberty. So, in 1791, the United States listed individual rights not explicitly mentioned in the Constitution by adding the 10 amendments known as the Bill of Rights. The First Amendment of the Bill of Rights states, Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech or of the press, or the right of the people peaceably to assemble, and to petition the government for a redress of grievances. It is important to learn the 5 freedoms declared in the First Amendment. Number 1, freedom of religion. Number 2, freedom of speech. Number 3, freedom of press. Number 4, right to peaceably assemble. Number 5, right to petition for redress of grievances. Freedom of religion, our first freedom, is the guardian of all our liberties because it affirms that God, not government, has endowed our rights to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Our Declaration of Independence states that the purpose of government is to secure these rights. The rights God has given to man, no government may take away. Our Constitution, First Amendment, and court decisions affirming religious freedom are the basis for the United States Department of Education's guidelines for public schools. The guidelines make it very clear that America's public schools are not God-free zones. At appropriate times during the day, public school students have the right to read the Bible and religious books during free time, share their faith with their peers at appropriate times, talk about religion to teachers and school employees, draw, write, or talk about God in class or school assignments, pray before athletic competition, school assembly, or extracurricular activity. Pray in a non-disruptive way during free time, such as lunch or recess. Organize prayer groups and religious clubs that are student-initiated and student-run. Distribute flyers and use bulletin boards the same as any other school club. Wear jewelry and clothing that express religious beliefs. Go off campus to have religious studies during school hours.
The defense of our religious liberty is a constant battle.
Education is the best safeguard of that liberty.
So let us defend our freedom of religion.
So Americans of all faiths can be free to live their faith in their school, church, community, or state.
God has blessed the children of the United States. Their legacy is a religious freedom bought at great costs by their ancestors. Soon they will be the guardians of that freedom. May they exercise that freedom deliberately and always be free to speak.